There's a reason P&O Britannia is still one of the UK's most booked cruise ships, and it's not just the giant Union Jack on the bow. She's big, she's British, and she's been around since 2015. And even with the newest ships in the fleet, Britannia still has a loyal following. This isn't a boring 45-minute deck-by-deck walk. This is a 10-minute tour where I'll show you everything, from the elegant atrium to the high street style shops and family-friendly pools. If you're thinking of sailing from Southampton, or you just want to know what makes this ship so popular with returning guests, stick around, because this guide will show you what Britannia gets right. The first place you'll probably walk through is the atrium. It's a 3-deck space with soft cream and gold furnishings, curved staircases, and that starburst sculpture hanging overhead. It's essentially the ship's grand lobby, the kind you'd find in a high-end hotel, and there's usually something going on. You'll hear live music here most evenings, a pianist or a duo playing while people sit with drinks from the Blue Bar or a coffee from Java. It's one of those spaces people naturally drift back to, either to meet up before dinner, stop for a drink, or just watch the world go by. Britannia has a real mix of dining venues. Some are included and some are extra, but they're spread out across the ship, so you never really have to go far. So the main dining rooms are the Meridian, the Peninsula, and the Oriental, and they serve classic dishes in a more traditional setting. You'll find things like roast lamb, grilled salmon, and puddings. The menus change daily and service is sit down, with set dining times unless you've gone for the freedom dining. Upstairs, the Horizon Buffet is the more casual option. It's open for most of the day and covers everything from cooked breakfasts to themed dinners. It's especially useful if you've got kids or just want to get something quick and easy. And there are some specialty restaurants as well. Sindhu does Indian fusion, not spicy for the sake of it, but really nicely balanced dishes. It's stylish inside without being stuffy. The Epicurean is a step up again, with more theatrical dishes and a quieter fine dining feel. And then you've got the Limelight Club, which is a bit different. You get a set menu, live music or cabaret, and it's all in a low-lit supper club sort of place. It's a good one if you want a full night out without moving around the ship. Evenings on board can go a few different ways, depending on what you're after. The Headliners Theatre hosts 2 shows most nights, one early, one later. These are big production-style performances, usually musical reviews, tribute acts or visiting comedians. You'll need to book a seat, either through the app or at one of the screens around the ship, but it's all fairly easy. If you prefer something a bit more laid back, the Live Lounge is usually the place to go. There's live music most evenings, bands, singers and the occasional DJ set. And later on it turns into a bit of a dance floor. It's casual, crowded and good fun if you're in the mood for it. Up on deck 17, tucked between the Epicurean and the library, you'll find something you won't get on any other ship, the Cookery Club. It's a proper working kitchen, dozens of stations, big prep counters, full ovens, and everything's laid out for a hands-on class run by professional chefs. Sometimes they're P&O's own food heroes, other times it's guest chefs from TV or restaurants ashore. You don't just sit and watch, you cook. You chop, you fry, you fillet, whatever the session calls for. It might be seafood or bread making or afternoon tea from scratch. And when you're done, you sit and eat what you've made, glass of wine in hand, with a few sea views thrown in. There is a charge for each class, and you'll want to book early if something catches your eye. It's one of the more unique things about Britannia. The glass house is worth mentioning too, curated by Ollie Smith. It's a wine bar with small plates and sharing boards. You can just drop in, order 1 or 2 things and take your time. It's quieter than in some of the other bars and has that relaxed grown-up feel. The main pool deck has 2 large pools, Riviera and Lido, surrounded by tiered lounges. It's one of the busiest places on the ship during sunny sea days. Just behind that is the grab-and-go poolside grill, which serves burgers, toasties and chips. The food's nothing fancy, but it's convenient and hot, and sometimes that's all you need. Further aft is the terrace pool, tucked away at the back of the ship. It's adults only, and because it's at the very rear, you'll get that lovely open wake view, a favourite spot for people who want to read, nap, or just drift for a bit. If you want something more exclusive, the Retreat is Britannia's adults-only sun deck, with cabanas, thick padded lounges and waiter service. It's paid extra, but it's quiet, well kept, and the sunbeds don't disappear at 7 AM. Tucked just off the main pool deck is a shaded splash zone designed especially for younger kids. It's bright, low to the ground, and gently bubbling with fountains and sprayers, just enough to cool off and run around without being overwhelming. What's really thoughtful is the wide canopy overhead. It keeps the whole area shaded during the hottest parts of the day, so your little ones can splash around without you constantly reaching for the sun cream. It's close to the loungers, near the poolside grill, and always has a few families dotted around. It's not the loudest space, not the biggest, but a really welcome spot when the sun's high and the kids still have energy to burn. P&O confidently say that Britannia is built with families in mind, and the Reef is the kids club, and it's properly organised. It's split into age groups and packed with activities from Lego to arts and crafts to Xbox tournaments. The staff know how to keep the kids happy here. Teens have their own chilled space too, and there's a night nursery for the under 4s that runs until late evening, which for parents can be a lifesaver. Elsewhere on the ship, you've got family-friendly menus, ice cream machines, and that big screen on the pool deck showing family films. Let's say you've dropped the kids off at the Reef for an hour or two. What now? One easy option is to wander into Brody's. It's Britannia's pub-style venue, tucked just off the atrium. There's usually something going on in here as well, a live quiz, a sports replay, or someone playing piano in the corner. The beer list is impressively long, mostly British, and the booths are comfy enough to linger for quite a while. It's the kind of place where people start out watching the football and end up chatting to the next table about tomorrow's port. Next door you'll find the casino, compact but lively in the evenings, a few blackjack tables, roulette, and a ring of slot machines that flash and hum just enough to tempt you in. Even if you're not playing, it's sometimes fun just to drift through. And then there's Deck 7, the promenade. You don't need to go far to feel like you're somewhere different. The lights are low, the air's cooler, and if you time it right, the sunset hits the wake, and it's beautiful. Couples stroll here before dinner. Some bring drinks, some just stop and lean on a rail for a while. It's quieter than you think, one of the small pleasures that doesn't really show up in brochures. It's these little moments that round out a sea day especially. Not always the headline acts, not the photo opportunities, just space to breathe and look out at the sea. Down on Deck 5 you'll find the Oasis Spa. Low lit, quiet, and properly relaxing. There's a thermal suite with heated lounges, steam rooms, and a hydrotherapy pool. You can book a spa pass or go in for treatments individually. There are massages, facials, all the usuals. There's also a salon and barbers tucked away in the same area, if you want a trim or a blow dry before the formal night. And upstairs there's a fully equipped gym with sea views, as well as a sports court with things like table tennis, football and basketball. Cabins on Britannia feel modern and sensible. The decor leans beige and neutral, and most cabins have the things you need: a proper kettle, decent storage, a safe and a fridge. Balcony cabins give you just enough outdoor space for 2 chairs and a table, which is ideal for a morning coffee or sunset watching. The inside cabins are compact, but fine if you're not spending loads of time in the room. I never do. If you're after more space, the superior deluxe cabins come with a sofa area and a bit more room to stretch out. And at the top end, the suites come with added perks like a welcome bottle of champagne, butler service, and priority just about everything. There's a small shopping arcade selling duty-free jewellery, gifts and clothing. You'll also find a photo gallery, art display space, and the usual cruise sales, watches, handbags, that sort of thing. If you're thinking about booking Britannia, or you're still weighing up your options, I'd love to help. Booking through Cruise Family always gives you better value than going direct, and it supports this channel too. Head to cruisefamily.co.uk, the link's in the description. And if those pubs and bars caught your eye, you'll want to know how the drinks packages actually work. That's exactly what we're covering in this next video.